best lightweight food field ration to prepare for quarantine and disappear completely for a long time. Whether you need to lay low or simply want to be left alone, disappearing might sound like a good idea. Running away usually isn't necessary and most problems are solvable with help. Instead of vanishing completely, consider taking a short break from things by making some simple changes. Plan out what you're going to do, erase your tracks, and then change your way of living. Even if you intend on coming back, making these changes can give yourself a fresh start. Stay put if you're underage to avoid making problems worse. People are bound to come looking for you if you're a minor. Chances are you will have a hard time making money and getting anything else you need to get by. Going on your own is tough, lonely, and even dangerous at times. Once you hit the legal age of adulthood in your country, which is usually 16 or 18, more opportunities open up to you. 2. Keep in mind that being out on your own is usually worse as a minor. When you're found, you will be taken home anyway. Unless things are very bad or even dangerous, find other ways to improve your life at home. Even if you don't think your friends and family will miss you much, you are better off finding safer ways to change the situation than simply disappearing. There are many resources out there that can help you deal with bad situations until you're ready to leave. Choose to leave in a responsible way if you're an adult. When you're an adult, you have much more of a choice about leaving home and setting up shop somewhere else. Most of the problems come from hurting the people you care about when you leave suddenly. You could let them know you're going or disappear by moving somewhere else without going missing. There are some legal problems to consider. For instance, if someone sends a search party after you, you might have to pay back the costs of the search. Adults have the right to leave home if they wish. Exceptions are when you're trying to avoid a legal obligation like a court appearance. If you're being harassed, blackmailed, or stalked, call the police. There are legal ways to change your identity and stay safe in these situations. Travel alone to reduce the risk of discovery. Your odds of being discovered increase a lot when you travel with another person. Think of multiple search parties and an even bigger paper trail. Depending on who you're traveling with, you might get into even bigger trouble than you would be traveling alone. No matter who you're traveling with, make use of plenty of false names and identities to stay anonymous. Disappearing with a child, for instance, could get you charged with kidnapping or child endangerment. Even if you have good intentions, you're better off staying put. Emergency rations are items of food and drink that a person stores and relies on in case of an emergency. Emergency food supplies can be purchased for camping trips or wilderness adventures. These supplies are meant to last for several days. Many people also purchase long shelf life emergency food in case of natural disasters or other emergency situations. The food can come in the form of a powder, freeze-dried, smoked, or salted. The rations are to help people survive until help arrives and are often carried while hill walking or mountaineering, because of the risk of being stranded by an accident. In some organized events, such as tent tours, it is obligatory to carry emergency rations. Emergency rations are often carried by camping enthusiasts, especially backpack campers, who are more likely to be far from food supplies. Emergency foodstuffs are usually high in caloric content, and sometimes also in nutritional content. Typical emergency foodstuffs are high-calorie foods such as candy bars, nutritional or protein bars, sports or energy bars, hard bread or biscuit, dried meat, such as jerky, and dried fruit. If water is available, rations with little water content are lighter to carry. Emergency rations are generally carried on the person by people on foot in case of becoming lost or separated from normal food supplies. Water or other drinks are carried if water is not readily available from the environment. The makeup of emergency rations can be adjusted to suit different situations depending on which properties are the most desirable under the specific circumstances. For instance, when comparing trekking to being lost at sea, a high caloric density is more of a priority in the former case, and in the latter case, the metabolic effects of the macronutrient composition require greater consideration. Emergency rations are used in humanitarian aid. In these contexts, the purpose of the rations is twofold: preventing malnutrition and sustaining physical activity. The energy content required for this depends on several factors, including the level of physical activity and environmental temperature. A field ration, also known as a combat ration, ration pack, or food packet, is a canned or pre-packaged meal, easily prepared and consumed by military troops. They are distinguished from regular military garrison rations by virtue of being designed for minimal preparation in the field, using canned, vacuum-sealed, pre-cooked, or freeze-dried foods, powdered beverage mixes, and concentrated food bars, as well as for long shelf life. Most field rations typically contain meat as one of their main course. The iron ration is a soldier's dry emergency rations. Such meals also prove invaluable for disaster relief operations, where large stocks of these can be ferried and distributed easily, and provide basic nutritional support to victims before kitchens can be set up to produce fresh food. Rations intended for emergency or disaster relief are often referred to as survival rations. Most armed forces in the world today now field some form of pre-packaged combat ration, often suitably tailored to meet national, regional, or ethnic tastes. Traditionally, hexamine has been the preferred solid fuel for cooking rations. An alternative is gelatinized ethanol. What customers said about us? Surprisingly good. I bought these for a bugoutbag. While opening the box, I had accidentally sliced open a bag of the vanilla-flavored pack. I took this opportunity to taste a tab. I was surprised at how good they are. They're sweet, a bit chalky, and have a very unique flavor, almost like Ovaltine. One tab was enough to satiate me if I was hungry. They don't give you a lot of calories but will provide all of the vitamins and nutrients needed for survival or an emergency situation. Solid product emergency rations are a good value, good food item for the size and weight. They will not make you full, but they will do what they are supposed to do, which is keep you alive. Freshness gets 4 stars, maybe it's just me, but they always kind of taste the same. That said, I have been buying them since the 80s, and cycle my old ones to regular meal supplements. Highly recommended. Click below to purchase the best lightweight food field ratio to prepare for quarantine and disappear completely for a long time.